Hey guys, it's Will. So imagine a world where your favorite meals are delivered by quite efficient robots, reducing the traffic, cutting emissions, revolutionizing the way that we experience convenience. What if I told you that the future isn't decades away right now, guys? It's happening with SERV Robotics. I've been getting a lot of requests on this one. Let's jump into it. They are absolutely looking kind of like an Uber positioned company, and I think they might even be working with Uber. Let's get into it. So, this is an interesting one. It was down to about $7 right here, about $7.50 a share. At one point, got up to $24.50. The interesting part is that it started holding this really consistent trend for about the entire month of December. And when you see that happen, you might expect that it's going to sell off, right? It would almost make sense that we'd see it sell off, but no, we actually see it break out of this, use this previous resistance as a support, and it shot up about 24% from there. And that's what we're seeing now. So now we see if we go kind of on the near term, you can see it's starting to sell off. Today it was down 4%. It's looking a little overextended kind of on the near term. It's possible that it does validate this previous resistance as a support, maybe down here at $20 a share. The other bull case would be that it validates this $21 resistance that it's at right now. Most likely what we'd expect, at least this is, I'm not very familiar with the stock in the fundamentals, but looking at the technicals, I'd imagine that it could sell off down to here around that $19.50 previous resistance before continuing up based on the bullish pattern that we see. Now, let's take a look at, there's three things we look at, right? We look at the technicals. So first we look at the market. We're in robotics. So robotics looks great. Definitely going to be covering more on the channel. Subscribe if you would like to stay up to date with these types of companies, including quantum, AI, and space tech. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Now, on top of that, from the market, we go to the analysis, and that's broken down into three pieces. We'll do the technicals here, then we get into the fundamentals, and that's like the news, what their partnerships look like. And then the third piece in that analysis sector is the financials. And then on top of that, after we get through analysis, then what's the profit potential? What's the plan look like? What does the risk reward or potentially entering this trade look like? So let's take a look here on SERV Robotics. I'm going to bring it up. We got SERV Robotics, and we're going with a fresh start. So let's take a look at the news on the surface. This is Robotics secures $86 million in new financing. Okay, so we see that. SERV Robotics secures massive $86 million funding boost, extends their runway. So they're still in startup, as I assume. We'll get into the financials, take a look at that. You can see dichotomy of funding, rapid growth. Okay, that's a lot of hype articles, but it's actually looking good. I mean, that's what you like to see. NVIDIA and Uber are backing this company. So they're backing the $700 million artificial intelligence stock, according to the Motley Fool. Now, we can see the robots here, how they look. They are delivering food, okay? So this is a developer of autonomous last mile logistics solutions. The company has a major deal with Uber. Uber Eats food delivery platform, which will see thousands of its self-driving robots deployed across the US and cities in 2025. Those robots are built using hardware and software components from NVIDIA. So that's pretty common. What we see in a lot of the self-driving vehicles and the autonomous and AI developments are based on a lot of what NVIDIA is doing. Even the data storage in that we went over top 9 quantum computing stocks that I'm buying in 2025. And we even checked out how NVIDIA is impacting the quantum space because quantum computers don't have the same storage. Anyway, really cool stuff. Uber and NVIDIA haven't just made deals with SERV, they also are the company's largest shareholders, which means they have a direct stake in its long-term success. The market cap of 700 million right now, SERV could have incredible upside potential if it executes on its strategy. Man, it looks like the future. What is the I've done DoorDash. I'm not gonna lie. In the past, a few years ago, I was just starting out as an entrepreneur, just out of high school, and I had just met my wife, who was my girlfriend, and we would go DoorDash almost every day to try and make enough money to live. And we were living with my parents so we could pay bills and try and scrounge up enough money. Because here in the background, she's like, yep, did it, been there.
True.
It's true, verified. And I could tell you that it's kind of like dehumanizing to do that job. Like, you're like not getting paid a lot. You you are maybe getting tipped, but you're basically just going from thing to thing like this transport. You feel like one of these robots probably, and it doesn't feel that good. And you make just enough, maybe enough to pay for your gas in your car and everything else, right? So it's become there's a lot of backlash around it. A lot of people don't actually like doing it. We made the most of it. We listened to podcasts, we listened to books, and we would be talking about our companies and our startups and what we're doing as creatives and entrepreneurs at that time. So, we always make the most of it. And so I'm not bashing on any DoorDashers, like all power to you. If it works for you, some people do biking, it works good, great, awesome. But I think this actually has a lot of potential for that reason, because I think autonomy and the food industry is going to see more of the robotics kick in there. And you could look at waiters too. Like, waiters, do they really? I know a lot of waiters, at least in my experience, they don't really enjoy it. They feel like they're getting paid tips, they're underpaid. It's like repetitive work. So, this is a sector that we could see grow. As you can see right here, they're really just surging up. You see the stock at one point was over $20 back in April 2024 or just before that. And now it's back up to being at that $22 price point. So it's kind of scooped through. It's looking bullish on the close. This is interesting. The company believes robots and drones are better options. I agree too. I would imagine these are great, but the step up from here would be having drones, because drones, they can deliver even more efficiently, especially for apartment buildings. I mean, if you have a balcony, I don't know, maybe that's privacy invasive. I don't know, but to have it go to your balcony and drop your food, I don't know, that's kind of cool. That's a cool thought. And definitely they scare me more. Drones scare me more if AI is in control than these things. I don't think these things are coming out here in the woods here in Northern California. I think I'm okay, but drones on the other hand, ooh, yeah, a little scary there. Okay, SERV robots shares reach all-time highs. Waymo taxi and SERV delivery robot collide in Los Angeles. Let's see what that collide looks like. Okay, it's a crash. So Waymo robotaxi, which is autonomous car, crashed into one of these food delivery robots from SERV. That's interesting. There's even a video on it. Now, let's take a look. So those are some good articles. That looks like they're getting funding. Looks like they got some good investors. Let's take a look really quick if they have some stuff on their actual website, and then we'll look at the financials here. SERV unveils commercial deal with Uber to deploy up to 2,000 robots. That's right, guys. Uber is buying into the company. They're trying to really, I guess, replace some of their workers with robots. And hey, I'll be honest, I know a lot of Uber drivers aren't very happy in this country, in the US, driving Uber, because it just doesn't pay quite enough. Because the value that you're bringing isn't all that much. Like, if it can be replaced by robots, you got to think about that. Anyway, in other countries, Latin America, things like that, they do make more money comparatively sometimes. No?
It's really bad.
It's still bad.
Colombia, $2 per drive.
$2 per drive in Colombia, which is it? I don't know if it's comparatively worse. It might be the same. It's even worse in Latin America. That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, people aren't too happy. It's a good time for Uber to introduce robots. You can see they have some articles on their website. Feel free to check it out. It's over on servrobotics.com. You can see they got some Fox. You got Uber back. That's in San Fran. 2,000 robots, raises $30 million in financing according to NASDAQ. And they're reinventing the $310 billion food industry. NVIDIA invested $10 million in SERV Robotics. So, getting a lot of good partnerships, a lot of investments from popular companies, and we'll see how they continue to thrive. So on here, I would say it looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the financials. What is their market cap? It's a big industry. I don't think that they're really overestimating by saying that it's a $300 billion industry. I don't think that's Crazy. You could also, Walmart is testing this Uber backed startup. So that's another big thing. Walmart, um, which I don't have access to this article, but they're testing the robots at Walmart, I guess. On top of that, on that note with Walmart, if you guys are interested in robotics companies, you might check out the company that's doing the warehouse inventory behind the scenes for Walmart. They're called Symbotic. See, warehouse automation. They actually are helping with that supply chain. Same deal with Walmart. They were up 4% today. They're at $26. They have been consolidating. Maybe now it's the time they go for their run, because I know I had bought around like $28, sold at like 29 or 31 a trade a while back, and they're still at $26. So they are consolidating. That's an interesting play. Symbotic. Okay, so company is innovating. Looks pretty good. Let's see how their financials look. So SERV Robotics financials. If I could spell it out. I feel like I can't even spell that. All right. That was a mouthful. Okay, revenue. 221K revenue. Year over year is up 254%. Still pretty low though, as far as the actual number. Net income's negative 8 million. Year over year, down about 5%. Net profit margins still negative 3,600%, which is up 70% year over year. Okay, that's better, but still negative on the net. And then cash on hand, we can't really see that. Cost of revenue is down 34%. So they missed their earnings per share and their revenue by a substantial amount, about 30% on each. They're in Redwood City, California, so just outside there in San Francisco. They're right close to NVIDIA and some of these other companies. You could see NVIDIA investing in them. I think this is a company we're buying what could be. They don't have the revenue. They're pre-revenue. I think they're going to... I have to ask my wife, do you think a company like this is going to be popular? Yes or no?
You cut me. Which one?
What are you eating?
Ginger.
Ginger something? Ginger snaps?
No.
Now we have a intermission.
Ginger candy, something like
What is Tammy eating? She's ginger candy. Okay. So, what do you think? Robotics for delivering food like Uber Eats, or like what's the name of that one in Latin America? It's not called Uber Eats. It's called the red one. Everybody drives it.
Pedidos Ya.
Pedidos Ya. Yeah, it's like Uber Eats, but like third party difference. Do you think it's gonna be big? What do you think?
I think yeah, but it might take a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I doubt that could be in Latin America, because Latin America is way more
harsh road conditions.
It's more there's thieves. It's more dangerous.
Lots of thieves.
Yeah, so if they steal phones. They are thieves. How do you say?
Yeah. They steal phones.
They steal phones.
If there's like one of those bird
cars, anything,
they'll take it.
Scooters,
they'll take it.
Are not safe.
Scooters aren't safe, so these types of robotics probably at risk.
And here I have seen like videos where they show like sometimes the robots. I mean, they need to develop it more, make it more.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tesla in a place like Argentina. It's
exactly.
Like
it's just
the
starting.
Roads maybe aren't there. They're getting there, but they need to become safer. They need to deploy in the right areas first to like really feel it out.
To me, it has future.
It has a future, yeah.
But long term, it might take fast. It might be faster than I think.
It might be. Let's check out their market cap too. I think it's going to be fast in California and like Miami and places like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for being in my video.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Should we do a video teaching Tammy how to invest in stocks?
Yes.
Comment down below with your thoughts if you think we should do a video together.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome. So again, let's just take a look at the market cap and we'll be in a position to make an accurate analysis. Okay, 1 billion. They're a $1 billion company. 200 plus or 300 plus $1 billion industry they're taking on most likely only going to capitalize in the near term on major cities like LA, San Francisco, maybe Austin, Miami, could see them in New York, some of the bigger cities until they're not probably going to get to full market exposure of really capitalizing, let's say, a third of the industry or something like that, which would be closer to like 80 billion or 100 billion. That most likely would not happen for at least 3 to 10 years. I was going to say 5, but with how fast tech's advancing, you just never know. But I would say probably 3 to 10 years would be more realistic if they were ever going to come close to getting a huge portion of that market. So most likely going to see that in the so then that would put the near term maybe at a $10 billion market cap within 2 to 3 years. Could make sense, possibly faster depending on how well it goes. If they are able to expand outside of Miami, outside of San Fran, and let's say they go to places like Canada, they're in Toronto, now they're in Paris, or certain places where there's other countries where they're suitable for this kind of tech, then we could see that inching close between that 20 or to $50 billion valuation. But even that could take probably, again, like 2 to 3 years to see that materialize. So yeah, I mean, outlook right now, I would say near term, we're probably looking just in a general valuation of up to 5 billion over the next year, possibly 10 if things really continue to rise. But most likely we're going to see a lot of volatility here in the near term. That's what we've seen. I mean, these swings are not small. Percentage wise, what we've seen, these swings are 30%. And the recent swing that we saw here, that was from that $13 price point. That was a 81% swing, and really just a matter of days. That was under 5 days that we saw that swing take place, just 4 days. So huge swing. Definitely going to see some more volatility on the near term. Long term looks pretty good. Most likely would see it pull back here before, if it's going to continue up, then that would make sense. And these swings also are quite attractive. We'll see if a opportunity presents itself at market open tomorrow, and maybe there'll be a dip buy or something like that. We got it here in our robotics watch list, so we'll take a look. For those of you guys who would like to watch me trade live at market open tomorrow, Tuesday, make sure to check out that second link down below. It's StockMate. Right now we have a sale that we just shifted that's got it's a higher price target on AMD. So if you get in our current sale with AMD and it hits $185 a share by March 20th here, with our current sale coupled with the New Year's sale that we still have going, you can get into StockMate and you'll get StockMate for free if that happens. So again, there's that New Year's discount and that second link down below, and then also chance of getting StockMate for free if AMD hits 185 by March 20th, which I think it could. If you guys take a look at AMD, it's quite possible. I have calls on it, and that's why I'm able to run the sale, because I actually am looking, I'm seeing it as bullish. And if I have a big win, then that would allow me to be able to refund StockMate in that way. So if we look back here, just take a look at AMD. It's quite promising. You can see that's what it has to do. It's got this uptrend right now. It started to bounce. I got calls in at $119. It's at $130 now. It's continuing up. We'll see what happens. If it gets up there, that's how much time you have. That's how long, or that's how much you'd have to increase. I don't know how long this current sale is going to be available, but it is right now on that second link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I'll see you guys soon. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed, and do consider subscribing. Take care.